Hello, buds. How are you all doing? I hope you're all doing well. Hello. This is my new model. I hope you like her. I worked really hard. I worked and reworked and redesigned and designed it for months. So I really hope you like her, and yeah. So I decided also to kind of kickstart this, I guess. I wanted to kind of try something a little different. I wanted to try a different kind of style. So I'm going to try a more anime type of style here. So we'll see how that goes. We'll see if it looks good at the end, and if it does, that's fantastic, and I'll be a very happy bunny. Alright, let's go ahead and get started. Also, if my voice sounds weird, I'm still feeling a little bit sick. Just not really feeling all that well, so I am very sorry if I sound off. But yeah, so this will be a draw with me video. I know I haven't done many of those recently, but I got kind of tired of trying to do the voiceovers. So why not do this instead? You know? Okay. Let's probably doesn't need to be that thick, to be honest. But yeah, so I'm going to try this. It's definitely different than my usual style. I feel like it's thinner lines. And I've been trying to experiment. Damn it. I've been trying to experiment a bit more with that, with like different styles and everything. I guess that'll work. Clean it up a bit. But I've been wanting to try different styles and kind of just see if I can find some techniques that I can use to improve my own style and kind of just experiment a bit more. Because I feel like I'm stagnating. I'm not sure if it's just me being very insecure about my art style, because I do feel a bit insecure about it sometimes, because it's not anime, which is it was my goal to draw in a more anime style in the first place, but it kind of just wandered off, I guess. My style did, and now it's where it's at now, and I feel like I'm kind of stagnating and it's not evolving like it should. Like I feel like it should. And I'm not sure if I like my style all that much anymore. It might just be that it's kind of getting old for me, I guess. That's entirely possible. I'm just kind of getting way too used to it. I need to try something different, maybe kind of spice it up a bit, but I'm not too sure. We'll figure it out. But yeah. So I'm trying out this style instead. It's not too different than my usual, but it's also not too similar. I feel like I fucked that up. So I just really want to try that. I'm messing it up. Fuck. That'll be fine. I am really bad at drawing hands. Hands are an absolute pain in the ass, I swear. I'm going to try a few different things here, though, and hope that they look good. And if you like this style more than my usual, let me know, because depending on the result, I might try to do this more often. Okay, I messed that up. There we go. I am very grateful for the liquify tool, let me just say that. It saves my life so often. But yeah, so if you guys end up liking this style more than my current one, let me know in the comments. I need to stop being a perfectionist. I was literally watching a video recently on how, like, perfectionism in your art can actually do more damage than than good, like do more harm than good. I'm still being a perfectionist about it. I need to stop. This is why I'm so slow with getting artwork done. I swear. That would explain it, actually. I tried to make the lines very clean, and sometimes I wonder if maybe it would look better if I just cleaned up the sketch instead. Though the sketch is also very clean. I'm very much a perfectionist about it. That's probably also why I stopped making Sims 4 custom content. Because I made custom content for a while, but I stopped after a bit because I just couldn't get it looking the way I saw it in my head. Like, I was trying to make a hairstyle, I was trying to make a new hair, and I just couldn't get it the way that I wanted, and I eventually just kind of gave up on it. Which I want to get back into it because I would love to be able to make, like, my own hair for The Sims 4, so I can make my Sim self. That would be nice. Okay, let's get this. I feel like I can stack it on a bit more. There. There we go. Got that? Alright, I'm going to save real quick, and then I'm actually going to not delete the sketch, I'm going to, excuse me, sorry. Make sure, okay. I'm going to make it invisible for a bit. And I'm going to use this, and this, and this, and this. And I'm going to go ahead and invert the selected area, and I'm just going to go ahead and make the sort of, base where the color is all gonna go. Just makes it a lot easier for me. Here, let me go ahead and clean it up a bit. Right here. It's probably not even that noticeable when there's like little places that I feel like I need to clean up. Yeah, I don't think it's really that noticeable. I think it's just me, but makes me feel better, I guess. Oh, whoops. That happens a lot. If you watch my speed paints, you'll see that happen a lot. I don't know why. Alright. And fixing that. Okay. Now I can actually go in. I'm going to actually make that invisible again. Well, this invisible, the color base. And I'm going to go in, I'm actually going to work on the details. So for this, I'm actually going to make a new layer. And I saved the symmetry tool from when I made the sketch of the face. I wanted to make this a little easier on myself, so I'm going to use that to do the face, and then I'll clean it up after. But yeah. Whoops. Oh, also, with this new model, I'm also going to be rewriting my lore. And all that. Probably just slightly more subtle changes, but maybe not. My hands are very, like, more unstable today than normal. I don't know why. I think it's because, I've been kind of in and out of sleep for a while. I don't know what's wrong with me. I think I've just been really tired. And I don't really know why. This is one thing that's really new to me, like doing the nose like this. I'm not sure if I like it quite yet, but we'll see. Oops. You know what I really wish I could do? I really wish I could animate. I've been wanting to learn how to animate for the longest time. I'm going to actually make this realistically. But yeah, I've been really wanting to learn how to animate. Because I just think that would be so much fun. Like, just so much fun to do. And I would love to animate my own lore, if I could. And just do little things like that. Like, I just think it'd be so much fun. Okay, now let's do this part. God damn it. Alright, there we go. But yeah, I just really been thinking about that a lot recently. So I might try to study how to animate in Clip Studio. If there's a better program for it, I would love to hear about it. But I think right now, I know more about Clip Studio Paint than I do any other program. Except for maybe like Medibang, but I don't think you can animate on Medibang. I'm not sure. Definitely correct me on that if you know otherwise. But I actually haven't used Medibang in a long time, so it's probably had a lot of updates since I last used it, so I probably don't know as much as I thought. As much as I thought I did. Okay, there we go. I gotta do the eyes. But yeah, just let me know if you know anything about any programs that might be better for that. Why did that go back to that side? I don't know why. Okay. Alright. So got that part. I really like, I feel like no matter what style I do, I always make the eyelashes very, very prominent. And it's not really an intentional thing, it's just, I guess, what I prefer to do, and it's what I do kind of automatically. I just really like how it looks with very prominent eyelashes. Alright, there we go. Then oh, that's cute. I really like that. Okay. And then I might not line the irises, so we'll probably skip over that for now. And if I change my mind later, then we can always go back and fix that. If we want to. But let's see. Alright. So I'm going to go ahead and line the hair, the inner part of the hair here. And then we'll go in and clean up the face. So I'm going to do these parts right here first. Let me actually do that. Okay. For some reason I can't concentrate on doing the hair when I have that there, because I don't know why. I actually don't know why. I don't really have a reason. So I'm just going to go ahead and make that invisible. And oof. And again, Liquify comes to the rescue. You know what I really want to do is, aside from learning how to animate, is also try to learn how to kind of do more storyboardy type drawings, like kind of just storyboard and do stuff like that, which I think would really help if I do learn how to animate, because then I could just do a quick storyboard and then animate it, and like I'll have kind of a guide to go by. But I've just been thinking about animation a lot recently. I don't know why. It's just been on my mind. Alright. Now let's do these ones. Oops. If I ever do learn how to animate though, and I actually do a lore video, I'm really hoping that it'll actually, like, I'll actually be able to make it, like, detailed and do, like, backgrounds and things, just because I think that would be really cool. I want to get better at backgrounds, because, like, I know my backgrounds aren't really the best, TM, but, I try. I just try not very hard. Well, no, I can't say that. I do try really hard. It's just that I don't know how to do backgrounds in my style, like in my current style. I'm going to be challenging myself with that soon once I finish a certain sketch. I have a drawing in mind that I want to do. It's just that getting the sketch done might pose a bit of a problem. Well, I have several sketches I need to do that are going to be heavy on the background element. But I think it'll be fun to get finished and see if I can do it. Kind of just challenge myself. Maybe that's why I'm stagnating. I haven't really been challenging myself recently. I've been mostly just doing a lot of character designs, which I can challenge myself with those, but I haven't been doing that, which is probably not a good thing. But I'm going to add some details here. I haven't actually decided on how I'm going to do the lighting here yet. I might do a rim light. I'll have to look up references for that later when I get around to it. I'll add some little stray hairs. Like that. I'll probably add them on the outside too, now that I'm thinking about it. Just a few little flyaways. Alright, and then going to do the other parts of the hair. Oops. Alright, and then with the Liquify tool. I know I use this a lot, but it's just really useful. Especially when my hands are very shaky and just won't do what I want them to do. Like, It's really nice. Sorry, I keep thinking I'm hearing my phone like notifications going off. Do you ever like hear the like phone vibrating? But like you look and there's like no notifications or anything. It's just nothing. It's just blank. It's absolute nothingness. For no reason. Like for no reason you hear the vibration sound. That's been happening to me a lot lately. Like these phantom vibrations, I guess is what they're called. I've heard that term before. I don't know if that's what it actually is like referring to, but that's what it makes me think of. I've heard of that before, but never really knew kind of if that was it. What is oh, I was on the one layer. That's great. Okay. I'm smart. Just need to make an adjustment here. I need to adjust this a little bit. Must have found the wrong layer. Okay. I need to stop. I need to stop doing that. Alright. Gotta make sure I was going to be on the right layer for this. And then I'm going to go over here and do this one. This is really cute. I really like this drawing. I really like the sketch that I did. I think it's adorable. I rarely ever like my own drawings, which I know sounds really sad, but like, I don't know how to explain it. Honestly, there's nothing wrong with using the liquify tool, I will say that. I know I keep talking about it, but I do want to clarify that there's nothing actually wrong with using it. I just know I use it a lot. And I'm sorry if that annoys y'all, but it's useful. It's a tool. If they didn't want us to use it, why would it be there, honestly? I don't know if that's good logic or not, but for now, we're going with it. Actually, I wonder if I can... I want to see if I can do a thing. You'll see what I'm thinking in a second. Just because I think it would make life so much easier. Okay, I can at least get it part of the way that way. That just makes it easier for me, so I'm going to do it. Art is not about suffering, it's about making things that you love. Let's repeat that. Art is not about suffering, it's about making things you love. So however you can do that, do it. Not if it's tracing over other people's artwork, though. Do not trace over other people's artwork. Only if you're practicing. And do not take credit for that traced piece of artwork. There's differences. There are nuances. How did I get off on this tangent? Okay. Let's keep going. Might be able to use that same thing here. Okay, let's do a little adjustment, and then let's do this. Hell yeah, that works. If it helps you get the artwork done, and honestly, it's not harming anyone. Honestly, who the fuck cares? It's helpful. And it helps shorten the amount of time that I spend on the line art, because I'm not the biggest fan of line art, I will say that. I'm just not. It's not my favorite thing about working on my drawings. I like the coloring. I like coloring. Coloring is my deal. Like that's my thing. So the sooner I can get to coloring, the better. Maybe I should have stuck to painting. It feels weird not doing like super thick line art. Like this is by no means thin, like super thin line art at all. Like it's not nearly as thin as I used to do. Or like in another drawing I did recently for my 18 plus account. That was some thin line art. I'm not going to pull it out to show you because it's for my 18 plus account, but like I'm just using that as an example. Hold on. Something got thrown away. Alright, I'm back. Oh, broken neck. Oh no, I'm dead. But it's fixed now. I'm back to life. I've revived. Alright. Enough goofing off. I need to work on this. Also, the reason I keep talking about, I think the reason I keep talking about, like, how it's okay to use the tools that you're given to get your work done, to, like, make it look how you want it to look. Like how I use the liquify tool or the transform tool very, very often. I think the reason I'm talking about that is because there's weirdly a lot of people who think that's cheating. I don't understand how that's cheating. I genuinely don't. And in this household, we don't support that idea. We don't support the idea that it's cheating. It's not. Like, come on, guys. Cheating would be like if I took someone else's artwork and legitimately just traced over it and then just did it that way. Like, that would be cheating. That would be being a piece of shit. Like, and then claiming it's mine. That would be being a piece of shit. That would be cheating. That would be, like, a horrible thing to do. This is not that. This is a completely different thing. This is just making the work a little bit easier on myself. Sorry I keep talking about it, by the way, I just keep having thoughts, I guess, and I just keep talking thoughts. I just keep kind of speaking what I'm thinking without really thinking about it, I guess, without really, like, considering, oh, I've already talked about this, and now it's beating a dead horse at this point. Which it kind of feels like I'm doing now. But, you know what? We're beating that dead horse, I guess. I really need to find a better phrase. I don't know why that makes me think of the Godfather movie, though, whenever I hear that phrase. I've never even seen that movie, but I've seen, like, clips from it. Like, the iconic horse head in the bed scene, which I'm pretty sure everyone knows about, I think. It's, like, the most commonly referenced scene, I think. Aside from the getting loser, we're going shopping, or we wear pink on Wednesdays. I think that's what it is. I think it's Wednesdays or Tuesdays, I don't remember. Which is hilarious, considering I was just saying how iconic it is. I'm actually not going to make that a complete line. So let me just adjust it. There. Yeah, that's not going to be a complete line. Doesn't need to be. Not everything needs to be connected. If I can just get this one right, that would be fantastic. I need to adjust this a bit more. There we go. You know, I'm getting my new internet soon, hopefully. I'm getting a new modem. And by the time this goes up, I'll have already had it. But I'm really excited to start streaming again. I am so excited. And hopefully it'll work well. Hopefully I can start streaming again. That would be fantastic. I really miss it. If you see my model freaking out, by the way, it's because I have a glass of tea and I'm just kind of drinking that to keep my throat hydrated. At least trying to. Just gonna change these up a bit more. Maybe not that much. Okay. Alright, no. Oops. Okay, if I could get this line just right, that'd be fantastic. Something about that just looks bad. I don't know what it is. Maybe it would look better if I don't have that connected. So, like, if I just... Something about it bothers me, and I don't know what it is. That's the problem. I still really like the sketch overall, but, like, this one part of the hair is bothering me, and I don't know why. Maybe if I have it do that instead. Okay. Now let's see if this is any better. Okay, that looks a bit better. Not really. I'll figure it out. Try doing that. Then let me get the liquify tool, actually, and I'll thin it out a bit. Down here. And then... let's actually not have it fully connect. Have this part right here. There. Okay, that's not too bad. Though now I need to... I feel like, at least, I need to do this. And then I have the part that comes out right here. There we go. I'm actually gonna have... not fully connect, but I'm gonna have that be there. Okay. This the right layer. Then I can just this. There. Connect. Let's make that a little less awkward looking. And then there. I think that's pretty cute so far. I think. If I need to, I can go back later and change it. I'm not sure actually how I feel about it right now. Fuck. Okay, let's start that part over. So I'm not sure if I like it. Alright, I might just make them like this. Have this come down here. So wait, I wanted it to be like here and then, okay. There. And then right here. No, that doesn't work. Let me try something actually. Just to kind of figure out how I kind of want the shape. So I'm going to do that, and I'm going to select layer collect. I'm just going to stop talking for the rest of my life at this point. Then we're going to do that. Okay. This is just to kind of get the basic idea of kind of what I want. Then I can use that as like a sketch. Okay. This will look much better, I think. Right layer? Yeah. Gotta make sure. I use a lot of layers. I probably shouldn't be using so many layers, but I do. Alright, and then I want to go ahead and do the same thing as I was doing earlier. And not fully connect those. No, maybe not like that. Maybe like that. Okay. I like that better than I like the sketch version of it, to be honest. So we're going to go with that. And then let's do this part of the hair now. And once again, I am messing it up. It's a little too far to that part. I wanted it to have a bit more of a curve here. Oh, by the way, if any of you play Sims, have you heard about the new pack coming out? I'm so excited for it. And it's nice to have a world that's not fully... that's not, like, super Americanized, you know? It's nice to have, like, a variety of different worlds from different cultures. And I'm just really excited to see what this one's like. It'll be fun. I hope they do it justice. I think it's supposed to be based on Thailand. That's what I've heard. Really curious about it. But plus the fact that we're going to be able to like own rental properties, I guess, in like apartments and things like that. I'm really curious to see how that will work. And kind of explore that and explore like a new world and just all the new interactions and things like that. It's exciting for me. I think so. I've been playing The Sims since like I want to say middle school. I started playing it around the time Sims 3 shit. What was that pack that came after Pets? I don't remember what it was called. But it was sometime after Pets. I started playing it around then. When one of my best friends and my mod actually showed me, like, she's now my mod. I wasn't streaming or doing much back then. But she showed me Sims 3 back when we were like on Skype. Oh god, Skype. And we used to talk on there a lot. She showed me The Sims 3 and I was like, oh wow, that looks like so much fun. I want to get that too. And I was talking to my mom about it when I was like a little kid. Like I was a kid, I was like in middle school. And I was telling her about The Sims and stuff, and I didn't really like make any specifications about like what the disc would look like, I guess, what the packaging would look like. And so my mom, she did her best. She did her best. She didn't understand computer stuff or gaming stuff. So she went to Walmart and she got what she thought was what I was asking for, or what I was like talking about. Because I don't think I ever directly asked her for it. I just told her about how much I was really excited for it and really wanted to get it, and was like, I was aiming to save up my birthday money for it. Because I think my birthday was like right around the corner. So my mom went and bought it for me for my birthday. But the thing is, she bought, I think it was the PlayStation version of the Pets expansion pack. Not like the base game. And I did not have a PlayStation at the time. I still don't. I don't know why I said at the time. But, and it was just something we laughed about. It was funny. It was kind of funny. I think we still have it because we just kind of forgot to return it. I think I still have it somewhere. I'll have to check. But I think it was for the PlayStation. I remember it was for some kind of console. And PlayStation is just one that comes to mind. Okay, that somehow doesn't look right. So I'm gonna try it another way. I just thought it was a really funny story. My mom was very, she did her best to understand. Even when she just really didn't. To be fair, I don't understand a lot of things about computers and stuff like that either. So, like, I didn't even realize it was for the PS at first, or like for the whatever console it was for at first. And I was so confused at why it was shaped the way it was, and then I read it and I was like, oh, well, rip. But we just had a good laugh about it. I thought it was funny. Let's see. Here we go. Oh, oops. Layers are not worse. Okay. Okay, I think I like it better this way. The fact that it's not connected. And then we can just... Oh, whoops, I'm not on the eraser, I'm on the wrong tool. And I can just go ahead and... Not... That's a little too big. Go ahead and do this. There we go. Got it. Right, and then I'm just going to actually do connect it here. There we go. That's cute. That's really cute. I might change a thing. Where did my cursor go? You guys can probably see it, I can't. Okay, there we go. I am clearly very blind. Okay, is this the right layer? Yes. I'm going to actually erase this part. And this part. I'm going to go back down here and kind of just... I'm actually going to redo that, redo the detailing on that later, with the coloring, I think, actually, instead of actually lining it. I'm going to try something. And if it doesn't work, I can always just go back and reline it, I guess. Alright, so now that most of that hair is done, I'm going to go ahead and merge all these layers. And then let's go over and fix this up. I'm gonna get rid of this so it's not... There we go. Alright. Got rid of the symmetry tool. Not got rid of it, but I put on a... I didn't get rid of it, I put on a different layer. That isn't going to be used. So, just in case we might need it later, or when I do the eyes, to make less work on myself. I'm also going to get rid of the sketch for now. It's kind of creepy without the irises, I'm not gonna lie. It's a little creepy right now. Oh, excuse me. Alright, there we go. At that point, just there. I love it. I love this so far, actually. So I'm actually, before I do the detailing of the hair in the back, I'm going to do the clothes in, like, those details. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay. If I could do this correctly, that'd be fantastic. Not correctly, if I could do this in one swoop, that'd be nice, honestly. Oh, I think I'm gonna sneeze. Sorry. I feel like I sneeze really loud, and I hate that. But just kind of happens, I guess. I don't know. I don't like it. But it's a thing, so we're just gonna have to deal with it. Hopefully I won't be sneezing for, like, for forever, I guess. Hopefully I won't be sneezing too much today. Or tonight. It's nighttime. Alright. Feel like I have to fix this up. I'm never sure of how to do these kinds of colors like this. I'm never really certain of that. So we're just gonna wing it. Alright. Going to make an adjustment here. There we go. I still feel like something about this looks off. I don't know what it is. I'm gonna redo it again. Sorry. Let's try it like this instead. Okay, and then maybe I can do that. You know what? We're going with it. We're going with it. We're just gonna do it and hope for the best. Going to do this whole side now. Do the other side. Alright, and then right here. That was actually a very clean swoop. Can't believe I actually did that. Alright, let's fucking go. And there we go with that one. That was nice. That was nice, especially after everything that happened with the hair. Then let's do the hand. It's right here. I wanted to make the lines on the outside a lot thicker. Just to kind of make using the fill stuff a little easier. But also because I thought it would look really nice. To kind of have that kind of difference in the line width. But now I need to try and make sure it's a nice transition from the thicker to the thin when it comes to things like the hands. I kind of want to... I have Pinterest on my phone. Let me look at Pinterest. That sounded so stupid. I am so sorry that I have to subject you to all whatever that was. Why do I have so many notifications on Pinterest? Okay. Let me. No, that's not what I wanted to. That wasn't what I wanted to do. Do. Okay. So I technically don't have to do this until later, but I want to go ahead. I want to see how anime eyes are typically like colored. Okay, a lot of these are like manga, not colored eyes. Okay, there we go. I don't really know how I want to color the eyes yet. I don't know how I don't know how I want to do all the coloring yet. But this is a time for experimentation. What are we going to do? We're going to experiment. Unless I experimentate. I promise I know what I'm saying. No, I don't. I actually don't. Ever. Know what I'm saying. Okay, so... merge some layers, okay. Now I need to do... I'm legitimately just going to do like half. And then do the other half. So I'm like... I don't know why I'm doing it like this. I guess just kind of for my own amusement. And then... that feels like it looks really stiff. I don't know why. That also feels really stiff. What is with me today? That's a bit better, but I should have separated the layers. Let me... I don't like how I drew this anyways. Not what I meant to grab. Okay. I want these to be closer together. Okay. I think this will look a lot better like that. So let's redraw this. Alright, I think that looks better. Now... I have to do this. And then... Alright. So I want to... Actually, I might see if I can make this easier on myself. If it doesn't work out, then it doesn't work out. But, nothing wrong with trying. Nothing wrong with that. So we're going to make a copy of that on a separate layer. That wasn't what I meant to do. Okay. You know what? I think this will be working just fine. Do need to make some adjustments. There we go. And then cute. Cute, 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 cute. Alright, let's see if I can really handle this. Whoops. It's fine. Can always fix it. There we go. Okay, I like it. Gossip. I don't know why I said that. I'm on TikTok way too much. Really, I'm on TikTok way too much. Another friend of mine yelled at me recently because I was on there at like, I want to say 2, 3 a.m. And I should have been in bed, asleep. But no, I was on TikTok instead. I have a reason for it though. I was trying to detangle my hair. And anyone with a lot of hair knows how much of a pain that can be. I have way too much hair at this point. I need to get it cut at some point. I just have not been doing that. Just haven't really been in the mood for it. Plus, the place where I like to get my hair cut, for some reason, they've just been closed more often than not. So I've just been kind of... I don't know exactly what their schedule is now. Plus, it's so far away, it's kind of a pain to go check. So I've been going to some other places. It's a different place every time at this point. Just trying to find somewhere with really good prices. And they don't mind someone with a lot of hair. I remember one time my mom took me to this place to get my hair cut. And when I walked out, I looked like a news anchor from the 1960s. If you know what I'm talking about. Yeah. I was in like high school at the time, and thankfully I was able to get all the hair gel and the hairspray out, so I didn't have to go to school looking like I stepped straight out of a 1960s sitcom. My hair was just poofed up to high heavens, I remember. Which, no hate to anyone who likes their hair that way, it's just... It looked weird. It looks really weird on me, personally. I did not like it. Though I felt like I couldn't say anything because the lady was a friend of my mom. So I was like, oh. Haha, I love it. Oh, I don't. I didn't actually say no, I don't. Thought it though. Felt like I couldn't really say anything. Which, if you go and get your hair done and you don't like it, I think it is a good idea to say something. Just, like, be polite about it. Because I don't know what it is. At least with me, hair is such a big part of like my identity and like such a big part of like if I feel good that day, it's likely because my hair is being good, I guess if that makes any sense. But if I'm like having a really bad day, usually my hair kind of reflects that, I feel like. I don't know, maybe I put too much emphasis on my hair. But honestly, it's just, I don't know. I wish I had said something back then, but I didn't. But if I did, my mom probably would have been angry at me, so probably a good thing I didn't say anything. Alright. Now... Oh, I still need to do this, but hold on a second. Alright, and then let's clean that. I'm actually going to use suggest line width, not thicken it, I'm going to make it more narrow. Probably not by that much. Okay, I guess I'm not going to do that, actually. Alright, and now let's see what's all I need to do. Okay. So the rest is going to be pretty easy, I think. I'll clean it up later, I don't really need to right now. I don't know if you can hear, I don't know if you can hear the sounds of my pen against the tablet. It's really loud to me, but I don't know if you can hear it through my mic. Alright, there we go. Now I just need to go through and clean this up. Which shouldn't be too hard, to be honest. There we go. And then up here. Let me fix this actually. And then down here. I've seen a lot of anime use black line art, but I don't know if I'm going to keep it that way with this drawing. Just because I usually prefer colored line art at this point. But I guess we'll see when I get around to like the final like coloring stages. And I'll see how it looks with the black line art. But I don't know if I'm gonna keep it like this. I'm gonna feel like it's a little too thick right here. Alright. Yeah. Okay. I'm really bad at remembering what layers have what on them. So I'm like trying my best to remember. Alright, there we go. So I think that's pretty good for the line art for now. Let's get the sketch invisible and take a look. Again, it's a little creepy with the irises not there, but we'll fix that in a moment. So, let me see. Okay. I don't have the exact swatches with me right now, but I remember. Roughly. Okay. I think it's a little darker, a little bit. Maybe not that bright. Not that pale. Maybe I don't fully remember what the exact swatch was. I think this is as close as we're gonna get. I'm gonna... Yeah, I think that's good. Sorry, I had to adjust my chair. Sorry, every time I'm doing art, and like this chair just starts going backwards. Alright, and this little heart mark is actually not white, it's a very, very light blue. So, just going to go over that. There we go. Whoops. Alright. Now let me just go over these parts that the fill tool missed. There we go. Got my little mark. Alright, and then I'm actually going to use the tool for this, the symmetry tool, to do the whites of the eyes. So I'm actually going to make them a darker color to make it a little easier for me to see where I'm going with this. I'm noticing some places where I messed up, or at least one place where I messed up. Slightly. There. So I just need to go over it. Okay. There we go. And then I can cover up the parts that overlap with the hair color later. Okay. Just want to go ahead and get this done. There we go. And then let me go with this. Alright. Well, I don't know why my vision is blurry all of a sudden. That's weird. Okay. Just gonna keep going. Sure, that's nothing. Honestly, I'm sure that's nothing. I'm probably just getting tired. Probably been on the computer too much. Alright, there we go. Got the whites of the eyes done. Yeah, that was a mistake on my part. If you heard that, that was just me banging my fist against the table. Not really banging, but you know what I mean. Alright, and then purple. Gonna go ahead and do the irises finally. What's this about? There we go. And then, oops. And then I'm going to go over here and do this. There we go. Probably won't be that high up, considering the expression. There we go. Alright, so we're going to leave it there, that way for now. And I'm going to get to work on the hair. Now the hair, I'm going to do the same thing as I did with the irises. Or not the irises, the whites of the eyes. So I'm actually going to use a different color to fill it in. Oh, whoops. Let me change that setting. Now I'll go back and clean it up later. It's completely fine to do it this way just because it is a little bit easier. All you need to really do is like do it this way and then go back and clean up the little spots that got missed. Or the spots that you couldn't really get to because they were like small. Alright, so now I'm going to go through and do some cleanup. Alright, fixing these parts up a little bit more. There we go. I did try to do a similar style with... Oh, I already talked about that, didn't I? The 18 plus account drawing. I did try to do a similar style though, and I think I'm going to do the same style but change it up a bit. Try to be a little bit more, like a little bit further from my usual style, possibly. But we'll see. We'll see how that goes. Because I genuinely don't know what I'm doing right now with this style. I guess I keep talking about it because I'm just really nervous. That might not turn out the way that I wanted to, but hey. That's the risk I'm taking by doing something a little bit different than my usual. And that's okay. Perfectly fine to be nervous about it too. Because obviously I want my artwork to look good. I'm also trying to sell myself as an artist, like I have my commissions open. Had to slip that in there. But I want to start offering multiple style commissions. So like I want to offer like anime style commissions, my usual style, and pixel art. Those are the main things I'm aiming for right now, at least. I haven't practiced pixel art as much. I really want to though. I might at some point soon. But we'll see if I can come up with some ideas for it. I have hiccups. I don't think you can hear it because like they're kind of quiet, but I think I have the hiccups. Or I guess one hiccup, I guess that was fine. I don't know. Alright, so we got that. I think that's all done. Then I just need to... And the hair is white. I did give it a little bit of a blue tinge, just so it's not like completely like stark white. But yeah. Yeah, you can see the difference between the hair and the whites of the eyes, which I might change the whites of the eyes a bit. Might make them a bit lighter so they don't look bloodshot like they kind of do right now. Yeah, I think that'll be fine. They're a little bit more warm tone, more of a warm white-ish color. Now I'm feeling a little weird about it. Let me do this. There. I think that's a good color. Alright, so we got that down. And then the shirt is actually like pretty much stark white. But I'm going to make it more of a light purple. Yeah, you can see the difference in colors. You can definitely see the difference in colors here. I love that. Alright, and then... There we go. Just want to make sure I get the right color for that. And then over here... These are a much lighter color. This is a much lighter color, and then this is a fairly lighter color than the little things on the sleeves, little ribbons. Alright. There we go. Oh, wait, I forgot about the hat. Forgot about the hat, that's my bad. Okay. The hat is also that really nice blue color that I really like. Cute. I like it. Alright, I think this is really, really cute so far. I'm gonna real quick do the background. Just gonna do a very simple... I don't want to do blue. I'll do pink. Or I could do purple to kind of tie into purple eyes. Well, purple in the eyes. Now the skin looks a little darker than I meant for it to. Nothing really wrong with that, it's just not super accurate. Okay, I think that's a little closer. Well, yeah. Plus the effects I'm going to do, it's gonna look a little better. Okay, so now I'm going to do a thing that I learned from a tutorial, which I've said before in the Draw With Me video. So some of you who have been watching my videos for a while will recognize this. And then here. There we go. I do this in both my usual style, and I've seen it done in an anime style, so I'm going to do it that way as well. Alright, so I'm going to mainly put a lot of focus on the coloring, I think. Let me actually do the eyes first, before I do all the skin. Because the eyes I feel like are going to be what give me trouble. So I'm actually going to check some pictures that I found on Pinterest of anime styled eyes, which there's a lot of different like sub anime styles, if that makes any sense. Like there's a lot of styles within anime itself. So I'm looking at a bunch. Try to figure out what I want to do. Oh, that's so pretty. Okay. So I might try this. This is a very soft one. I just need to figure out how to do it with the way that my eyes are. The purple and then the blue on the bottom part. So I'm hoping that it'll work out, but we'll see, I guess. Okay, so it's very soft. Using this as like a loose reference. Okay, now I go back to the iris space and just kind of blur it slightly around the edges. I also do this when I'm like doing my painting style, but I haven't done that in a long time. So I don't know if this will look right, but I guess we'll find out, won't we? Okay, now let's go for a more like blue, purple. It's kind of a mix of the two. Okay. Oh wait, wrong brush. That's a bit too big. Okay. And then that. Okay. I'm like very carefully trying to figure this out. I don't know if I'm doing this right. Then we'll go over it with the blur. Why does that look kind of creepy? I don't know if I like that. Let me go back to this. Wait, let's try making that multiply. Then actually, and try this instead. Let's try erasing this part. And then I'll actually go over it. Or go over, like, make a new layer and then put it under there. Okay. And then get that fitting right in there. I'm really trying here. And multiply and then over that. And then it looks like I'm really trying here, guys. Maybe that's more of a like, maybe I need to use like a paintbrush. Need this. And then this doesn't look right. I'm trying it anyways. Okay, let's make that multiply. Okay, I don't know. That looks right. I'm looking at more references. Okay, let me just Control Z all the way back before I start blurring anything. There we go. Okay, saving that. Let me check references. This looks like a nice one. Okay. Well, let me really go back before I start blurring anything. Okay, so checking these references. Again, there's so many different styles in anime, it's kind of hard to figure out what I really want to do. So, let's see. Some are very simple and some are very much not. Okay. Oh, these are cute. I really like these. They're very simple too. Let me test some stuff out, I guess. Okay. liquefy, and then shrink them down a bit, I guess. And make them multiply. Okay, so got to blur this again. Are these lined? Looks like they are kind of lined, but not with the llama itself. Okay. Going to try this. Alright, that doesn't look bad, but I don't know if I like the pupils. Sorry about that. Okay, I'm going to change the color of the pupils a little bit more. Alright. And multiply. Okay. Something I'm going to do is this. And then what I'm going to do. Let me get it just right. Okay. And then I'm going to actually do that again. This time a little bit bigger. Let's do. And then let's move that. And then move this a bit more. Okay. And then make that well. And there we go. No, I think I'm going to redo those pupils. So I'm not exactly the biggest fan of them. Okay. Still want them to be purple. Multiply. Let's make the pupil more oval almost. Okay, let me actually make that darker color, a little bit more on the blue side. And the reference pictures, a lot of them aren't very big, but I worry that if I make it too small, it'll look creepy. But I guess we can try it. I guess that'll depend on how I do the rest of the coloring. So let's test it out and see how we do this. Okay. Then let's go back to this more cyan, this bright cyan color. Kind of make it a little bit more obvious down here. Okay. I'm still not all that sure how I feel about this, to be honest with you. But we're figuring it out as we go. Which is fine. Okay, now I want to do what I always try to do, at least, and add a little bit of this in there. I just think it adds a really nice effect. I really like it. Now, on the pupil, I have to add this. This is part of my design. This is genuinely part of my design. I'm gonna add the little bunny. Probably not that big. The little bunny in the eye. Alright, and then I'm gonna bring it down a bit. Now just fix it up a little. Give it chubby cheeks. And let's actually shrink it. Because it isn't that big. And we'll make it add glow. And there we go. Okay. So, I'm looking again, sorry. Looking at my references. There's a lot of them. I'm definitely going to have to practice more, I think, with the eyes. Because there's so many different ways to draw eyes in an anime style. And I think I want to explore more of that. And see what all I can do. Damn, these are gorgeous. Okay. So many different ways to do it. And they all look so cool. I'm noticing with a few, there's not an outline around the pupil exactly, but there is a bit of a change in color. So I'm going to do that, but I'm going to make it like a darker blue instead. Okay, what sides would say that is? Oof, that's close enough. There we go. Then multiply. noticed that with a few, so let's try that. I think that looks really cool. I really like that. Okay. So, how do I even want to do the shading here? That's my question. Still looking at references. There's so many. I could go either soft or hard shading here, but I think with how I did make it more on the simple side, like with all the coloring and stuff, aside from like some of the details um in the eyes, I think I'm going to go with some cell shading. I'm going to do more cell shading than I almost said anything else, than any like softer shading. So I think I'm going to do a light purple. Let me actually check something. I'm actually noticing a lot of them are on the pink side. What I could do, and this is something I actually saw in a tutorial. Let me do this. Okay. What I could do is I could do this. So I'm gonna make a new layer in the shading folder. I do have a separate folder for the shading. And I'm going to go and take pink. And I'm going to kind of just do this. Okay, I actually think that looks kind of good. I actually kind of like that. So I'm also going to add the highlights. I'm going to go ahead and do that while I'm thinking about it. Now, there's a lot of different ways to do highlights. And I think I'm going to do it like this. Make the highlights here look kind of like little bunny paws. I think that looks cute. Then I'm actually going to go over this. Might move it. And then maybe I won't do this. Maybe I can just leave it like that. Not have a whole lot of sparkle. No, maybe I will add a little bit more sparkle to this. And there we go. Whoops. That would explain why I couldn't see anything. Haha. Okay. Adding little particles in there. And I actually make them multiple colors. So that's some blue, some purple, some pink, and then I'll add some white in there. There we go. We'll make it soft light or hard light. I think hard light is better for this. Okay. Actually, I could just go with glow dodge. Yeah. Some little sparkles in there. And then I'm actually going to go back to the skin, and I'm going to do a thing. Okay, let me close up the eye folder because we're pretty much done with that. Wanted to go ahead and get that done since I knew that would be the hardest for me to make decisions on. So I'm going to go ahead and do this. Actually, there we go. And then go over this. Oh, whoops. Wrong brush. Okay. I realized once it didn't do anything. And then add glow. Let's lower that opacity. Pretty good bit. I've been wanting to try that for a while. Actually, I think I'm going to color the line art real quick, and I think I'm going to make it. What color do I want to make it? Let's try out a kind of darkish blue. Ooh, I could probably go lighter with this. You know what this makes me think of? It makes me think of, shit, what's the name of that song? There is a song, I think by Eve, where the line art is like super bright pink and it's so pretty. Like, the music video, I mean. Not the song itself. The music video is so pretty. Oh, I wish I could remember the name of it. But it's so good. Let me... And the funny thing is, it was made for a commercial. Like, it was basically a commercial, like an advertisement for a chocolate company. Let me see if I can find it. I know it's on one of my playlists. But while I'm looking for it, I'm going to continue working on this. That wasn't what I meant to do before. Shit, where is it? View on my playlist. Should be in there somewhere. But I think I'm going to... Should I not do the... Blush. The blush. I couldn't think of the word for a second. Debating whether I should continue on with the blush. So I could do a softer blush, maybe? Sorry, I'm still like looking around for everything. You know what I mean. Should be here somewhere. I have so many playlists, it's not even funny at this point. I think I might have actually skipped it. I did, okay. Here's the playlist. I did actually skip it, okay. Scroll all the way down. Because I know it's a bit later in my playlist. There we go. Hold on a second. I just realized I had something in here that was supposed to be in a different playlist. So I'll do that real quick. Okay. It's, I'd recognize if I saw it. Okay, Heart Forecast by Eve. Heart Forecast. That's the song I was thinking of. And the music video has like really pretty bright pink line art. Kind of reminds me of this, so I might actually do that bright pink line art instead. See how that looks. Oh wait, no. Ooh, almost did that on the wrong layer. Okay, let's see how that looks. Okay, I actually really like that. Going brighter with it. Let's go full saturation. Okay, why do I actually really like this? I'll actually lighten it a bit, like this, and then... See, I actually really like this. It's really cute. And it fits. I feel like it fits. Okay, so let's get back onto this. The blush is also very prominent on my design. So I might not make it as big. Especially around the eyes. Okay, that's actually really cute. I'm gonna do another thing. I'm going to add a bit of a sort of highlight right there, I guess. Kind of make that stand out a little bit more. There. I think that's pretty cute. Okay, the thing is now, I don't know if I want to add lip color. Let's see how that would look. That's actually a really pretty color though, oh my god. I wish I had a real life lipstick that color. It's actually really pretty. Okay, and then I need to go through and clean it up. And lower the opacity quite a lot to be honest. At a very low opacity, I think it looks cute, so I might keep it that way. Like, you can't really see it all that well, I guess. But I like it, so it's okay. Alright, so I'm going to do some shading here as well. Now, I used this color. Oops. There we go. Okay. Let me just fill this part in. I probably won't do a whole lot of shading, but we'll see as I go on what I decide to do. And then let's go back to the pink. I think this is the right shade of pink. And oh, oops. It's something. So cute. Okay. I'm going to actually delete that for now and continue working on just the flat shading, and then we'll add the pink in later. I just noticed that these kind of look like little galaxies. I didn't mean for that to happen, but that's really cute. Okay, so now I don't really need the thing, the symmetry tool for now, since I'm going to figure out this. Since I gotta do this now. Alright. Okay, do that. Oops. Alright, and then we'll actually do this. Okay, anywhere else I need shading. I don't think I need it here, but let me check something. I'm actually going to try to find a reference for anime faces, I guess. I should have gotten the reference in the first place, like the references in the first place, but I didn't. So let me look. I just want to see how to shade the nose, if the nose requires any shading. There's a lot of different ways to draw noses. It's really interesting to me. Yeah, I've seen a lot of different ways to draw noses, but none like the line that I've seen before. But I can't remember how I've seen it colored. Let's see. I've seen some like diagrams, I guess, some like graphs or graphics on how to draw anime noses, like side profile. And a lot of the ones that I've seen are just not very good. Like, I feel like you should be able to draw any nose shape in an anime style, and they just kind of are like, oh, this nose shape is bad if you want to draw an anime style. Like, it's not really bad, it's just you gotta figure out how to implement it in the style that you want to do. I don't know. Maybe it's just something that I saw while I was scrolling through Pinterest, and I kind of made me think of that. I'm not really seeing what I'm looking for. Like the specific kind of nose shape that I'm trying to do. Okay, I guess this is close. Not exactly. Shit. Okay. Just gonna take a guess from things that I've seen. And say that I have to do it like this. That looks strange to me. Maybe I'm just not used to it. Okay, I guess the nose gets no shading. Which feels a bit weird, so I'm gonna do a little bit of a thing right here anyways. Just for a noise and it scared the shit out of me. Okay, so now actually I might redo some of this. So let me just go through and you know what? No, I think that'll be fine. I think. Okay, we'll figure it out. How long have I been recording now? Am I still recording? Yeah. I didn't think this would take as long as it is, but honestly I don't really mind it that much. I'm gonna make this smaller. Okay, and then let's go over this. Oops. And then let's get this going right here. I'm gonna have the light coming from pretty much straight on, so it's just going to be very, because I don't want to deal with like very specific lighting choices at the moment, with a style that I'm not very familiar with. So like until I'm more used to this style, I think I'm going to do very basic, like, you can't really fully tell where the lighting is coming from, I guess, type shading and lighting until I get more used to it. And I'm going to practice until then. Dude, I just think I should make it a series where I like try to practice different styles and just see how it goes, essentially. I've been thinking about that. I think that would be fun. I really want to do that 10 styles art challenge, the 10 art styles challenge. I've been really wanting to do that. I tried to do it before and I never finished. I never finished it. It was like a long time ago too, back when I was doing traditional art still, which I don't really do that anymore. It's just not really my preference at this point. I just prefer to do digital. Okay, so this one. And that's nothing against traditional art at all. Like I still have like a bunch of supplies I want to use. But it's just not really my preference at this point in time. Forgot to do these. Oops. Okay, that's actually really cute. I really like this, I think. I'm going to do another thing and see how it looks, just because I'm curious. So, I'm going to do that, and then... Okay, let's see how this looks. Kind of just want to bring a little bit more attention to the eyes. And I think that little bit of subtle detail might help. There we go. Ooh, that's cute. I really like how the skin looks. It's really cute. I might... What's this? Yeah. I might bring this up a little bit more. Just the tiniest bit. Okay, now let's go back to the eyes, because I want to redo that shading. Not redo it, I just want to add on to it a little bit more. Okay, there we go. And now I will go back over it with the pink. Okay. And then here I can just draw it like this. Cute. Okay. I like this a lot. I actually really like this. I might actually get rid of the nose shading that's there, just because like it doesn't really look right. There. I really like this. This is cute. Okay. Let's see if we can continue that into the hair and everywhere else. So since I know the hair is going to take me a while, I kind of want to go ahead and get that done. So let's go ahead and take a look at what I have to do. I need to add the little ombre effect. So that's going to be what's a pain, I feel like. I could probably make it easier on myself in some way. I'm trying to figure out how I can do that. Okay, well first let me do another thing, because I just realized. This is something else I've seen a lot of, other anime artists do. That I really like, and I do it in my usual style as well. So, you know. The skin kind of reflects on the hair. Because hair is pretty reflective. I'm gonna bring down the opacity there. Okay, I'm actually going to do it like this. So, and then I'll clean it up later. Okay, now we go to the blue. Alright, it looks very messy right now, but please trust the process. Oh, whoops, I forgot to add the blue in there. And there we go. Get it all blended. Okay, now for the cleanup. So I really like ombre in hair, so I really wanted to make sure that looks right. I'm not sure if it'll look good, like, once everything else is done, but let's hope. There we go. Got that part cleaned up. Okay. Now gotta clean up here. I think part of why it's taken me so much longer than normal to do this, and so much longer than I expected, honestly, is because I'm just not used to this kind of style. So I wasn't really anticipating how long it would take. So I generally thought this would maybe take like an hour, 2 hours maybe. Because a lot of my artwork doesn't take more than a couple of hours to finish. Like maybe 2 or 3 hours at the most. Especially for a portrait. Portraits don't take me very long. But this is a style I'm not used to. And while it's still fairly close to my style, because I kept the line art not as thin as I could have maybe, and I still kind of use, like, I still use a lot of techniques that I use in my own style, like, regularly, it's still something that I'm very much not used to, and that I'm not, like, I don't have a lot of muscle memory here. A lot of what I do is muscle memory. Also, so just something I'm thinking about. But I do want to get used to this style a bit more and try to get better at it, or at least something more similar. Since I'm really liking how this looks so far. But we'll see. I should have done like 2 versions of this. Like one in my regular style and one in this style. I might do that with a different drawing at some point. If I can. Or remember to. I have a few ideas, but we'll see if I can get around to them. Generally, it probably would have been easier to use the, what is it called? The lasso tool. And do it that way, instead of just going ham with the airbrush. Should have just used the lasso tool and then used, like, my regular coloring brush. And then just kept the lasso tool on and done the blur filter thing. You know what I'm talking about, I think. Probably wouldn't have taken as long. For some reason I thought this would be quicker. It's not. The lasso tool and then blurring. And then taking off the lasso tool and making whatever adjustments are needed actually doesn't take as long. I should have just done that. But that's fine. I'm learning. It's a good thing to learn. Alright. One more bit of fixing up to do. Let's go. Oh, whoops. There we go. Got that part, and then I need to go down this way. I was thinking about doing a thing where I try and mimic styles from some really fun dating simulators. I downloaded a few recently that I really like the art style of, that I really wanted to try out. Like both the game and the art style, because they sounded interesting and they look really pretty. Seen some really pretty ones. Oh, whoops. Which, I feel like with dating simulators, you have to make them look pretty in order to market them. But these are, like, really pretty. And I really want to, try the styles at some point. There we go. I think that's all the cleanup. Yeah, I think that's all the cleanup. Hell yeah. We did it! Oh, my back! Stretching. I don't know if you heard that crack. That was a big crack. Okay. It scared me. Okay, so. What do I want to do next? What do I want to work on next? I don't want to do the hair shading yet, because I don't know how I want to do that. Might bring the opacity down on these a little bit. Make them a little lighter. Kind of match with the rest of the colors a little bit more. Trying to make decisions. I don't know. Okay, so what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to work on the clothes. I'm gonna save the hair for last, because I'm not quite sure what I want to do with that yet. So, let's go ahead and I'm going to shade the hat. I don't need to do a whole lot with the accessories, like the hat and the little tie thing there. I don't know what it's called. At least I don't remember what it's called. I used to know. No, I might try to do a thing in a little bit. We'll see. Okay, so now for the shading down here. Oh, I'm noticing a little issue. Some little mistakes here and there. There we go. And then we'll do that. Alright, there we go. Trying to make sure I got everything all filled in correctly. At least how I want it to look. Okay. Oh, whoops. Didn't mean to do that. Wrong color. Here we go. You know, my character Tegan, for anyone who's been here for a while and knows about Tegan, who I've drawn a lot in the past, her design was actually accidental. But back when I did traditional art and when I was first designing her, I actually didn't mean to make her blue. Like, that was not intentional. I wasn't looking when I was grabbing out my colored pencils, and I accidentally grabbed the blue, and I didn't realize until I already started coloring her skin tone. So that was how she ended up blue. She was originally just going to be an elf, and she is now a water genasi instead. But yeah, she originally wasn't supposed to be blue. It was an accident. A happy accident, but still. Never intended for her to be blue. So I find it kind of hilarious now that it's basically how she's recognized. Like a major reason she's so recognizable among all my characters. I want to at some point redesign her outfit, just to hopefully give her a more defined silhouette, but I don't know. I have such a hard time redesigning her. As I do with a lot of my characters, to be honest with you. I'm gonna do a quick thing and see how it looks. Oops, didn't mean to do that. Okay. There. I'm going to just... I want to see how it will look if I do this. Kind of like make a little reflection of the blue hat on her hair. And then bring down that opacity quite a bit. Okay, that's not bad. I do want to... Hold on here. Do want to do this. There. Just want to add a little light to her hair. A little lightness. Alright. Now I might actually use a brush afterwards, like later on, to add highlights to their hair. just because I'm really bad at hair highlights. The ones that I do are very simple usually for my style, but I don't know how I do it for this style. There you go. And then I'll add some light here. Add glow. And we'll bring it down. There. And a little bit more shine there as well. Cute. Okay. Now let's work on the shirt a little bit. Alright. Mostly just gonna be shading, to be honest. Oops. And we'll actually use the liquify tool for fixing this. There we go. Trying to make sure I get everything just right. So sorry if I'm like quiet for a little bit. Alright, and then I'm very much not doing a whole lot of shading for this. And I kinda like it like that. Like just not a whole lot of shading, just kind of doing enough to kind of show where things are. Oh shit, whoops. Just kind of, just enough basically. Which I'm fine with. I'm not going to go super in detail with all of it. Oops, I forgot to do shading here. Shift, and then just gonna... Oops. Cute. I really like this. Okay. I'm liking this a lot more than I thought I would. Now the hard part though. Oh boy, okay. Now that we did the clothes, we need to do the hair. I was dreading it, to be honest. I love coloring, but when it comes to the hair, I never know what I'm doing. I'll do this real quick. Okay. There. Gonna procrastinate doing the hair. Just one moment. So this. Okay, I need to stop procrastinating. But I'm still doing it anyways. And a little bit of reflection of the skin. See the shirt, even if it might not make too much sense. I kind of like how that looks. As long as it's a very opacity. Okay. The part that I was dreading. Let's go ahead and do that then, I guess. So I'm dreading it mainly because I don't know what I want to do here. I just don't really know what I want to do. So, what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to try to keep it very simple and hope for the best, essentially. Let me go through. Okay. I think I like this highlight for it. Oh, that's too big. Okay, too big of a brush. Oh, shit. I don't know how that works, apparently. Okay. Oh, whoops, I was on the wrong layer anyways. I don't know about this. Okay, let's figure this out. Okay, I don't think I like that. Can I try another one? Okay, let's try this one. Holy fuck, that's big. Okay, that's a little too small. That might be a good size, but why is it not reaching all the way across? I have to like zoom out. Oh my god, I gotta zoom out real far for this. Okay. No, I don't like that either. Okay, let me... Back to Pinterest I go. Let's see what I'm trying to see if I can find any ideas for what I can do for this. Alright, I'm gonna try just drawing it on there myself. I'm gonna make it this bright purple just so I can more easily see what I'm doing. Okay. So... need it to be more professional. There we go. Okay, so again, I'm sorry I'm complaining so much, but I'm just not sure how I want to do this, so I'm kind of not freaking out, but I'm kind of panicking a little bit because I'm like, oh, I should probably practice a bit more before making a video where I'm literally working on it. But you know what? This is good. This is good for me. Trying something new. And that's important when you're doing art. Always gotta try something new, right? It's a good thing. Even if it's driving me a little bit nuts. Then again, that's not very hard to do. If you want to really see me go nuts, watch that video of me playing a Bouncy Goat, I think it's what it's called. I'm gonna have to check later. But, yeah, that was a ride. Okay. I really hope this looks good by the time I'm done. Because this is kind of tedious. There's probably an easier way to do it. I just didn't like any of the, like, brushes that go ahead and make this on their own. I just didn't like the shapes and I didn't like how they fit to the hair. I probably could have stood to make them a little larger, but like I said earlier, this is learning. I'm practicing. I'm learning how to do things like this. So I'll probably just make this a little bit larger. Oops. We're kind of just chilling together, I feel like. Just you and me, and whoever else is watching. Let me know in the comments, like, what your favorite art style is. Or who your favorite artist is. I think it would be interesting to just kind of know, like, what everyone's preferences are. And I really want to get into other art styles and see if I can kind of just explore a bit more, maybe, like, evolve my own art style a bit more and improve it. Yeah, I probably could stand to make these a little larger, couldn't I? feel like that looks kind of like the Batman symbol a little bit, which is kind of hilarious to me. Kind of love it, kind of hate it, a little bit of both. Nothing wrong with that. I'm actually gonna... Oh shit. Okay, wrong. Oh gosh. Just so it's not exactly the same as the other one. Okay, I'm actually going to make these bigger. I think that'd be nice. Okay, that isn't bad at all. Like, especially when it's larger, we might keep that little slice thing going. Alright, and then put that in. Okay, I like these. I like it. I like it like this, okay. Gonna keep it going. Sorry I keep going quiet, by the way, I'm just like focusing really hard on this. Trying to make sure it looks just how I'm aiming for it to. I probably made those a little bit too big. I'm gonna just there, scooch them up a little bit. Scoot. Okay, this is gonna be a little bit smaller, I think. Alright, there we go. Alright. Just going to do that. Okay. Okay. And then I'm going to fix this up a little bit more. There. And then, so I guess I'm not doing room lighting like I had originally planned. I would still love to do a drawing with room lighting soon, because I haven't done any room light for a while now, honestly. It's been a long time. So hopefully I can do that at some point in the future. Again, these keep looking like the Batman symbol, to me, at least. And I generally don't intend for them to be, but I think that's kind of fun. Okay. Okay, now let's do add glow. Oh shit. You can't even see it. Controls. Okay, I guess now it's a little bit more visible. Why do I feel like the top of the screen is for some reason darker? Am I just not seeing well? I think something's wrong with my eyesight right now. I think I'm just getting tired. I don't know. Okay, I want to blur it slightly, so a little bit of a Gaussian blur. Let me do that. Just a tiny bit of blur right there. Cute, 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 cute. Okay. Right now for the shading, which is what I was dreading. And then I think we'll pretty much be done. How long has this taken? Well, over 3 hours. It's not taking as long as I thought it was, to be honest. I thought it was taking a lot longer. Which isn't a bad thing at all. I'm just surprised. And then we'll bring that down. Okay. I'm gonna make it a little bit easier on myself. Okay. Alright, and then over on the other side. I'm gonna make it a very soft shading, I think. Alright. And then let's go and do this. Actually, I'm going to make the shading a little bit more intense, I think. Oh, I almost sneezed. Oops. Alright. Get that carved. And then shape this as well. So far, this is really, really cute. Okay, so I feel like the hair doesn't look as shiny as I usually make it, but I think that's okay. Because it doesn't really need to be. But one thing I can definitely say is it looks different than my usual. I like it a lot though. I like this a lot. I'm definitely gonna still add some effects and stuff later, but we'll see how that goes. Definitely gonna try and add in a little bit of shininess. It's just gonna have to be really subtle. Just gonna add a little bit more darkness up here. And kind of up here. There. Then something I actually want to add just to the eyelashes. So I'm actually going to take this color. And I'm going to very subtly airbrush it onto the lashes here. Kind of just a little bit. I can just fix that later. As in right now. Just kind of adds a little bit of the tint of the eyes, the eye color to the lashes. Alright. I think I'm gonna add a little bit more of the pink to the shading. Right here. It's very messy. There we go. Alright. I think I'm just about done. I want to add something to the background, just not sure what. You know, I might do... No, that didn't work out, so I was thinking about one. I can do it. This is going to take me a little bit, 1 second. Wait, I think I got an idea. Hold on a second. I have an idea. Okay, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna copy all the layers and then paste it. So this is gonna take a little bit. Let's wait patiently. Please don't crash. Okay, there we go. Let me just save real quick, just in case. That was scary. And I'm going to merge the copied layers. I don't need that. Okay. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to ruffle lock it. Change it to white. You can't see what I'm doing right now, but you'll see in a bit. Thicken the lines. Okay. Okay, you'll see what I'm doing in a second. And I'm going to adjust this. There we go. Okay. Let me save. And I'm going to see if I can thicken it again. And then I'm going to thicken it again. Okay. And then hopefully one more time and I'll be done thickening it. Okay. Now I'm going to adjust this a little bit. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to alright. Let's create a selection. So selection from layer, create selection. And I'm going to go to select, shrink the selected area by 5. Let's do a little bit more than 5 actually. Let's shrink it by 10. So now it'll be by 15. Okay. Okay. So then I'm going to cut out the part that I've selected. Get rid of it. See what I'm doing now? Now I just gotta clean it up a bit. So now I'm just cleaning it up. There we go. That was what I wanted to do. Oh yeah. And then I might... do the thing. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna save again. Okay. Then I actually think we're pretty much done. Going to merge these layers, but I'm going to save just in case, again. Just want to make sure. Then we'll merge the selected layers. Okay. We're going to do this. This. Whoops. Okay. Alright, so pretty much almost done. Forgot about a thing. Okay. Now we're going to see how this will look with my finishing touches. So we're going to go to the brightness and contrast. I'm going to bring up the contrast and bring down the brightness. Or, let's see. I really like this. Okay. So it's not a super big difference, but there is a difference. Going to okay. Then we're going to do that again. But we're not going to do the brightness and contrast system. I'm going to add a little bit of a blur. So I'm going to add a little bit of a Gaussian blur. Making it subtle, so it's not too obvious. And then we'll go in with a gradient map. See what gradient map we want. I do this one a lot, I feel like. Ooh, I like that one. Not this. Could do this one, and then let's try multiply. Ooh. Kind of adds a little bit of a difference. I kind of like it. I don't know how to describe it, but I like it. Part of me does wonder if I made the shadow and all that for the skin too prominent, like too dark. So I'm gonna go in and change that. Okay, let's see. Alright. I think that's good then. Merge selected layers. Let's put that in there. I actually don't know if I want to keep this. I feel like it adds some interest, but I don't know. Let's try making it a little bit more subtle. Oh shit, I didn't even notice that. I made it an ag glow layer and that's how that popped up. Alright. Let's make that a little bit more subtle. You know what? No, I'm not going to do that. What I am going to do though, so I'm going to take some of the background color, and I'm going to add it to the very edges. And then we're going to bring down the opacity. And there we go. Then something else I kind of want to do, just because. I'm going to add a little bit more light here. Just a tiny bit more. There we go. Oh wait, I have to edit here or something. Just wanted to do that a little bit. Let me figure out if I can decide on something for the background. I have so many brushes I could use. Let me look and see what I got. I have so many. It's ridiculous. Could do something like this. No. I'm looking right now. I'll see if I can find anything. Not this. That's not too bad. Right down here. Make it very subtle. Or I could make it... Nope, not an add glow, never mind. Okay, I'm getting really sleepy. I need to just decide on something. You know what? Hold on, I got an idea. Add a little bit of interest. It's not a whole lot, but it's like subtle details. Okay, and then add these in the background. Again, just making it very subtle. Okay, I think that's really cute. Now I'm going to actually merge visible layers. Let's get rid of that roller. Delete the roller. Alright. Now let's get back to... So I'm going to go ahead and do the Gaussian blur. Okay. Bring it down. Okay. And now we're going to go back and also do brightness and contrast. So we're going to bring down the brightness and bring up the contrast. Okay. Okay, I really, really like how this is looking so far. I'm really enjoying this. And then I'm going to do gradient map again. I'm going to actually... Okay, let's do this. Sorry, my throat. Okay, and then multiply. And we'll bring that way down. Not to say 15%. 15% seems to be a good number. Let's actually bring it down to about 13. Okay, and then I'm going to go to another gradient map, and I'm going to choose a different one from a different set. Let's see what I can find. Oh shit, that's bright. Vaporwave. Let's try Fruit Snip. No, that wasn't what it. Oh, I got so scared for a second. Okay, I thought I did something. Ooh, I like that one. Okay, let's make that an overlay. Okay. Cute, 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 cute. Okay. I think we're good. We did it! We did it! Hell yeah. Oh, stretch. My back. Alright, so I hope you all enjoyed the video, and I hope you liked the finished result. It'll come up on screen in just a moment. And yeah, hope you all like my new model, and I'll talk to you all next time. Bye, buds.